Galactic Council had gathered in its enormous crystal chamber, high above the swirling purple clouds of Zerion 5. Thousands of alien leaders from across the galaxy were present. Each species was different. Some with 6 limbs, some with glowing eyes, and others that looked like living crystals. But all shared one belief. Humans were long extinct. 1,000 years had passed since the last recorded humans disappeared. The Council's discussions were serious and tense. Wars were being planned, alliances were being forged, and old enemies plotted new betrayals. Finally, the galaxy can move forward without the humans. One elder alien whispered, its tentacles wriggling nervously. We can plan freely now. Their species was too unpredictable. Across the chamber, a small group of younger aliens laughed quietly. Can you believe they survived 100 years? One said. 8,000. That's impossible. The chamber doors were massive, made of metal that shimmered in every color of the spectrum. Suddenly, the enormous doors shuttered. The room went silent. Every alien's gaze turned toward the source of the disturbance. The sensors blinked furiously. Something was approaching. Something unusual. Report, demanded the high chair of the council, a floating orb with psychic antennas. What is coming toward us? The council technician, a thin alien with translucent skin, spoke quickly. It's a ship, sir. Human design. Unregistered. Approaching its standard pace, unarmed. A murmur ran through the council. Humans. Alive. Real. And coming straight for them. This must be a mistake. One of the council members hissed. Humans do not exist. But the readings could not lie. Every sensor, every scanner, every psychic probe confirmed the impossible. Humans were coming, and they were coming now. The council erupted into chaos. Tentacles waved, claws clicked, and voices screeched. Some aliens wanted to attack the ship immediately. Others wanted to hide or evacuate. We must prepare our defenses, shouted one. No, we cannot risk open hostility, argued another. Let us see their intent first. The human ship entered the chamber without hesitation. It was small, unassuming, almost fragile-looking compared to the massive warships of the Council, but it carried an aura of confidence. The doors opened, and humans began to walk out. The aliens froze. Every eye, every sensor, every psychic sense was focused on them. The humans did not look dangerous. They were ordinary in appearance. They wore simple suits, nothing flashy, no weapons, no insignia of power. Yet there was something in their stance, something in their calm, steady movements that demanded attention. Who are they? Whispered an elder alien. They are humans, said another, barely audible. Alive after 1,000 years. One human stepped forward. He was neither tall nor imposing. His hair was dark and his eyes calm, but his presence seemed to fill the room. We are here to join your council, he said. His voice was soft, but echoed in every mind in the chamber. We come in peace. A tense silence followed. Some council members were outraged. How dare they return? One shouted. They vanished. They were extinct. This is an insult. Others were curious. Perhaps they have answers. Perhaps they survived something we cannot imagine. The human did not flinch at the reactions. Another human, a woman, walked forward. She was slightly shorter, but her eyes burned with quiet determination. We have survived, she said simply. We have thrived. The council members could not believe it. How? One asked. Explain yourselves. What is your story? The humans exchanged a brief glance, almost a smile. We were never gone, the first human said. We only disappeared from your sight. For 1,000 years, we have lived hidden, learning, preparing. And now, we are ready to meet the galaxy again. The chamber erupted in whispers, many of them full of fear, many of them full of awe. Some council members leaned closer to each other, trying to hear better. Others trembled in disbelief. Why now? Asked one council member. Its many mouths moving in nervous harmony. Why return after 1,000 years? The humans looked around slowly, deliberately. Because it is time, the woman replied. Time for the galaxy to see the humans not as extinct, but as present. Time to change history. A young alien from the outskirts of the chamber stepped forward. Prove it, it said. Prove that you are not a trick. Prove that you deserve to be here. The humans did not respond immediately. They simply looked around, calm, confident, ready. And in that calmness, the aliens felt something unexpected. A sense of power, not the kind that comes from weapons, but the kind that comes from knowledge, experience, and unity. The council's elder orb floated forward. Its psychic antennas flared. This is impossible, it murmured. Extinct species alive, returning unarmed and commanding respect? Yes, the human said. We have returned, and we will not be ignored. Some council members began to step back, uncertain. Others moved closer, curious. Could it be that the humans had discovered something the galaxy had never known? Something that allowed them to survive, thrive, and perhaps even surpass every other species in cunning and strategy? The humans continued to move deeper into the chamber, each step measured, deliberate, full purpose. Aliens whispered among themselves. They must have allies, one said. They must have some secret power. But the humans were not hiding anything. They had no weapons, no secret agents, no visible advantages. Their power lay in something else, something that no alien had seen in 1,000 years. Sheer resilience, confidence, and unity. A council member, a tall being with blue crystalline skin, spoke aloud. If they are here, we must hear their terms. Let them speak. Let them explain how they survived. Let them explain what they want. The humans paused, then nodded. We have stories to share, said the first human. Stories of survival, of battles you never knew, of wisdom earned in silence. And we will share them if the council is willing to listen. Some council members were uneasy. We cannot trust them so quickly, whispered one. They were gone. They were extinct. How do we know they are not dangerous? The human smiled faintly. Trust is earned, the woman said. But fear is wasted. We are not your enemies. Suddenly, a low alarm sounded. Sensors detected something unusual. The humans had not moved aggressively, but some subtle energy seemed to radiate from them. Council members tensed. Some tried to block it with shields, others with psychic barriers. Yet nothing happened. The humans simply stood, calm, and their energy, quiet, steady, filled the room. What is this? One alien asked. It feels wrong, but also right. Wrong, another replied. No, it feels inevitable, like the galaxy was always meant to see them again. The humans stepped closer to the council seats, each step deliberate. We are not here to fight, the first human said. We are here to be part of your council. We are here to guide, to share, to participate, and we hope eventually to lead, not by force, but by example. The council was silent. Murmurs had stopped. Fear had shifted into curiosity. Questions rose in every mind. How could humans survive so long? What had they learned in their 1,000 years of absence? What power did they hold? The humans did not answer all questions. They knew the moment of revelation would come in time. For now, they had made their entrance. They had claimed their place in history once again. And in that moment, every alien present felt it. The galaxy would never be the same. A young alien in the corner whispered to its companion, "If this is true, if they survived, everything we knew is wrong. Everything." The human stood silently for a moment, letting the weight of the moment sink in. Then, the first human spoke again. "This is only the beginning. We have survived, yes, but we have also learned. And now, it is time to share that knowledge with all of you." A sudden hush fell over the council chamber. Every alien leaned forward, their attention fixed on the humans. The impossible had become real. Extinct species were alive. The unexpected turning point had arrived. And as the humans waited, calm, confident, and unarmed, the council members realized something that would echo across the galaxy for centuries. The humans were back. And this time, they would not be ignored. The Galactic Council chamber remained silent. No one spoke. No one moved. Thousands of alien leaders sat frozen, their eyes fixed on the humans standing calmly in the center of the hall. The echoes of the first human's words still seemed to float in the air. "We have learned." Those words felt heavy, very heavy. The elder orb slowly floated forward. Its glowing surface changed color, showing confusion and concern. "Humans," it said in a low, careful voice. "Many species here believed you were gone forever. Your return is shocking. Before we allow you to speak further, you must face a test." A quiet murmur spread through the chamber. "A test?" whispered one alien. "Why now?" whispered another. The humans looked at each other briefly. Then the first human nodded. "We expected this," he said. "What kind of test?" The elder orb's antennas glowed brighter. "A silent test," it replied. "A test of mind control and truth." Many aliens leaned forward. They knew this test. It was old, very old. Only the strongest minds had ever passed it, and many had failed. A tall crystalline alien stood up. "This test connects to your thoughts," it explained. "Your fears, your memories, your secrets. If you lie, we will know. If you hide, we will see." Some council members smiled. "No species has ever passed it easily," one whispered. "Especially not emotional ones like humans." The humans listened quietly. The woman stepped forward. "We accept," she said. A wave of surprise moved through the chamber. "Without hesitation?" someone whispered. "Are they foolish or confident?" The floor beneath the humans began to glow. Soft blue light surrounded them. Invisible energy fields rose slowly, forming a circle. Inside the circle, reality felt different. Time felt slower. Thoughts felt louder. The silent test had begun. The first human closed his eyes. He took a slow breath. The others followed. Inside their minds, the test started to work. It searched. It dug. It reached deep, very deep. The council members watched carefully. Large screens appeared in the air, showing energy patterns from a human's minds. At first, the screen showed chaos. Images flashed. Stars, fire, broken ships, dark planets, alien invasions, lost cities. One alien gasped. "They have seen war," it said. "More than we imagined." Another image appeared. A destroyed human colony. Silent, empty, floating bodies in space. A council member whispered, "So much loss." The humans did not move. Their faces stayed calm. But inside, memories were rising. Painful memories. Old memories. On one screen, a young human child was seen crying beside ruined buildings. On another, soldiers stood against impossible odds. On another, scientists worked day and night in underground shelters. "They suffered," murmured the crystalline alien. "They adapted," replied another. Suddenly, the images changed. Now they showed something strange. Humans working with machines. Not as masters, not as slaves, but as partners. AI systems, energy networks, star maps, deep space tunnels. "What is that?" one council member asked. "Unknown technology," replied a technician. "Very advanced." The elder orb grew quiet. "This is beyond our records." The test pushed deeper. Now it searched for lies, hidden plans, secret weapons, violence, but it found something unexpected. Unity, strong unity. The humans thought together, not as individuals, but as one. Their thoughts connected, their emotions balanced. Fear was present, but controlled. Anger existed, but restrained. Hope was strong, very strong. "This is impossible," whispered one alien. "No species thinks like this." "They are synchronized," another said. Suddenly, the test reached a dangerous level. The energy around the humans intensified. Some council members panicked. "Stop it," one shouted. "You will hurt them." But the elder orb raised a signal. "Wait." The test showed one final image. A hidden human world, deep in a dark nebula, protected by natural storms, invisible to scanners, full of life, cities, children, parks, libraries, spaceports, a living civilization, alive, strong, hidden for centuries. "They never died," whispered an alien. "They hid," replied another, "and grew." The energy field slowly faded. The blue light disappeared. The circle vanished. The humans opened their eyes. They were breathing heavily, but they were standing. They had passed. Silence filled the chamber again. This time it was different. It was not fear. It was respect. The elder orb floated closer. "You passed," it said softly. "Completely." A wave of shock moved through the hall. "No one has ever done that," whispered a council member. "They did not resist the test," said another. "They embraced it." The woman spoke calmly. "We had nothing to hide." A young alien stepped forward. "Why hide for so long?" it asked. "Why not return earlier?" The first human looked around. His eyes were serious. "Because the galaxy was not ready," he said. "And neither were we." He walked slowly forward. "We were weak once. Divided. Proud. Reckless. We trusted too easily. We fought too much." Images from a test still floated in many minds. They knew it was true. "So we disappeared," he continued. "We went into the dark. We rebuilt. We learned. We made mistakes. We fixed them." The woman added, "We learned patience, cooperation, long thinking, not just years, centuries." Some council members shifted uncomfortably. Most species rarely plan beyond one generation. Humans plan beyond 10, beyond 20, beyond 100. A tall insect-like alien spoke. "And now? Why return now?" The first human answered slowly. "Because the galaxy is close to another great war." The chamber stirred. "What?" someone asked. "How do you know?" another demanded. The human raised his hand. A hologram appeared. It showed star systems, trade routes, military movements, secret alliances, hidden fleets. Gasps filled the room. "These are classified," one leader shouted. "No outsider knows this." The human's voice was calm. "We know, because we watched. For 1,000 years." The council members stared in shock. "You were spying on us?" one accused. "No," the woman replied. "We were learning." "We saw your mistakes," the man continued. "Your cycles of war, your pride, your short memory. And we know what is coming." The hologram changed. It showed massive fleets gathering in dark space. Unknown symbols. Unknown weapons. A threat bigger than any before. "What is that?" whispered someone. "A storm," the human replied. "A war that will burn half the galaxy. And you are not ready." Fear spread. Real fear. Not imagined. Not political. Real. The elder orb trembled slightly. "Why tell us?" it asked. "Why help us?" The human looked at every species, one by one. "Because this is our galaxy too," he said, "and we will not hide again. We survived extinction. We survived darkness. We survived ourselves. And now we choose to stand with you." Silence followed, then slow whispers, then louder voices, then debate. Some trusted, some doubted, some feared, some admired. A council member spoke loudly. "If this is true, if they saved this data, if they survived all this, then humans are not weak. They are dangerous," one replied. "No," said another. "They are prepared." The elder orb raised its signal. "Enough," it said. It turned to the humans. "Your test is complete. You have earned the right to speak. But understand this. Many here still fear you." The human nodded. "We understand. We feared ourselves once too." The council chamber slowly returned to normal. Lights softened. Screens faded. Guards relaxed. But nothing was truly normal anymore. The galaxy had changed. Again, a young alien whispered to its friend. "They are not just survivors. They are planners. They waited 1,000 years for this moment." The humans stood together, quiet, focused, ready. They had passed a silent test. But a bigger test was coming, one that would decide the future of every star. And deep in space, unseen fleets were already moving. The Galactic Council chamber was no longer calm. After humans revealed the coming storm, fear spread like fire. Leaders whispered. Advisors argued. Guards tightened their grip on weapons. Holograms of unknown fleets still floated in the air, slowly rotating like dark shadows. No one could ignore them. No one could forget them. The elder orb floated higher. Humans, it said, if what you show is true, then the galaxy is in danger. It is true, the first human replied. We have watched these forces grow for hundreds of years. They hide in dead systems. They move through dark space. They do not speak. They only prepare. A reptile-like leader slammed its claw on the table. Why did you not warn us earlier? It demanded. The woman answered calmly. Because you would not listen. Before you called us extinct. Before you called us weak. Now you listen. Some leaders lowered their heads. They knew she was right. A tall energy being floated forward. Tell us everything, it said. The human nodded. We call them the Void Legion. They are not one species. They are many. Broken races. Lost worlds. Survivors of old wars. They joined together in hatred. Hatred of the galaxy. A new hologram appeared. It showed destroyed planets. Burning cities. Empty space stations. These attacks happened quietly, the human continued. Small colonies. Remote outposts. Ships that vanished. You called them accidents. They were not. Gasps filled the chamber. We investigated, said the woman. We followed the patterns. We learned their routes. We watched their leaders. And we learned their plan. The image shifted. Now it showed the galactic core. Trade hubs. Capital worlds. Defense networks. They will strike here, she said. At the heart. When they are ready. When no one expects it. Fear turned into panic. If they attack together, one leader whispered, we will fall. Yes, the human replied. You will. Silence followed. Heavy. Painful. True. A council member stood. A small, bird-like being. What do you want from us? It asked. Why tell us now? The first human looked at the stars on the ceiling. Because alone we cannot stop them. Together we can. But there is more. His voice grew serious. Someone inside this council is helping them. The chamber exploded with noise. What? Impossible. Treason. Lies. Guards moved. Weapons activated. The elder orb glowed red. Explain, it commanded. The human raised his hand. Please. Slowly, the noise faded. We intercepted signals, he said. Encrypted. Hidden in trade data. Disguised as weather reports. They came from inside. A hologram appeared. Lines of code. Symbols. Routes. Payments. One leader's face changed color. Another began to shake. This cannot be real, someone whispered. It is, replied the woman. They feed information. Defense gaps. Fleet schedules. Emergency routes. In return, they are promised power. Survival. Control. Betrayal hung in the air. Like poison. A crystalline leader spoke. We must find the traitor immediately. Yes, another agreed. Arrest them. Question them. Destroy them. The human shook his head. Not yet. Why not? Demanded the reptile leader. Because they are watching, he replied. If you move too fast, they will vanish. And warn the Legion. The council hesitated. He was right. A secret enemy was the most dangerous enemy. The woman continued. We propose a plan. A hidden plan. A war before the war. Some leaders leaned forward. Explain. We pretend nothing has changed, she said. We act normal. We keep trading. We keep meeting. We keep arguing. But secretly, she gestured. We prepare. The hologram shifted. Human and alien fleets. Defense lines. Supply routes. Training zones. Joint bases. We share technology, she said. We share intelligence. We train together. We build shadow fleets. Hidden fleets. The insect-like leader clicked nervously. That takes time. Yes, the man replied. And we have 2 years. Maybe 3. Not more. Fear returned. So little. Yes. But enough if we are united. The elder orb floated slowly. Why should we trust you? it asked. You were hidden. You watched us. You judged us. The human answered honestly. Because we could have stayed hidden. We could have let you fall. We did not. We came. We risked everything. The chamber was quiet. A young alien whispered. They waited 1,000 years. To save us. Suddenly, alarm sounded. Red lights flashed. Emergency! Shouted a technician. Unauthorized transmission detected. Everyone froze. The human's eyes narrowed. They know, he said. A screen appeared. A dark symbol filled it. A broken star. Surrounded by fire. Then a voice echoed. Cold. Metallic. We see you, Council. We see you humans. You cannot hide. We are coming. The transmission ended. Panic erupted. They know our plans. We are exposed. We are doomed. The woman spoke loudly. Calm down. Her voice cut through the chaos. This was expected. Expected? Someone cried. Yes, she replied. They always test. They watch reactions. This message was not an attack. It was a warning. To scare you. And it worked. The leaders slowly quieted. She was right. Fear made mistakes. The human continued. Now they think you are weak. Confused. Divided. Good. That is what we want. A few leaders looked surprised. You planned this? Yes, he said. We leaked false data. Limited. Controlled. They think they know our strength. They do not. A murmur of respect spread. These humans, whispered one. They think 5 moves ahead. The elder orb considered. Very well, it said. We accept your plan. Joint command. Secret preparation. Hidden war. Cheers did not follow. Only serious nods. They knew what it meant. Years of tension. Lies. Danger. Sacrifice. The woman looked at the council. There is one more thing, she said. If war comes, some of us will not survive. Silence. We know, someone whispered. She nodded. But if we fail, no one will. The meeting ended hours later. Agreement signed. Channels opened. Teams formed. For the first time in history, humans and aliens planned war together. In secret, far away, in dark space, massive ships moved. Void Legion commanders studied their screens. The Council is afraid, one said. Good. They will break. But they were wrong. On a hidden human world, deep in a nebula, millions trained. Pilots, engineers, strategists, children studied history. Mistakes, lessons, hope. One young human looked at the stars. Will we win? She asked her teacher. The teacher smiled softly. We will try. And humans never stop trying. Back at the council, the first human stood alone, watching space. The hidden war has begun, he whispered. And this time, we fight for everyone. For 2 years, the galaxy lived a lie. On the surface, everything looked normal. Trade ships moved. Markets stayed busy. Council meetings continued. Leaders smiled for cameras. They argued about small things. They signed weak agreements. They pretended nothing was wrong. But under that calm surface, a secret war was growing. Humans and selected alien allies trained in hidden systems. Joint fleets practiced in dark nebulae. Engineers built new defense platforms inside asteroids. Scientists worked day and night on shield systems and energy weapons. No one outside the inner circle knew. Not traitors. Not civilians. Not even most soldiers. Only a few hundred leaders and commanders knew the truth, and among them was a traitor. The first human, Commander Elias Carter, stood inside a quiet strategy room on the hidden base world Helios 9. Stars glowed softly through the transparent ceiling. Holograms floated around him. Fleet routes, enemy movements, supply lines, probability charts. Nothing showed danger. Everything looked perfect. Too perfect. Elias frowned. Something feels wrong, he whispered. Beside him, the woman, Dr. Mirachun, looked up from her data pad. You've been saying that for weeks, she replied gently. Because it's true, he said. The Void Legion has stopped moving. They were active before. Now silence. Myra's eyes narrowed. Silence before strike. She said, "Yes," Elias agreed, "or before betrayal." On the Council capital world, Zypher Prime, a closed-door meeting was underway. Only 12 leaders were present, including High Delegate Varix. Varix was respected, trusted, powerful, a silver-skinned being with calm eyes and a soft voice. For decades, he had worked for peace. Everyone admired him. No one suspected him. No one except the humans. A hidden human AI, Atlas, had detected strange patterns. Small data leaks, minor route changes, quiet financial shifts, all connected to Varix. But proof was weak, too weak to accuse. So they waited and watched. That night, Varix stood alone in his private chamber. He activated a hidden device. Dark light filled the room. A hologram appeared. A Void Legion commander. Tall, metallic, emotionless. "You are late," the commander said. Varix bowed slightly. "Security is tighter," he replied. "The humans suspect something." The commander's eyes glowed red. "Then hurry. Our fleets are ready. Your job is simple. Open the shield corridor. Disable Sector 7. Then step aside." Varix hesitated. "Billions will die," he whispered. The commander leaned forward. "And billions will bow. You were promised survival. Power. Your species will rule." Varix closed his eyes. "I know," he said. "I will do it." 3 days later, disaster struck. Without warning, Sector 7's defense grid went offline. For exactly 12 seconds. That was all the Void Legion needed. Thousands of dark ships appeared from folded space. Right inside protected territory. Panic spread. Alarms screamed. Fleets scrambled. Planets locked down. "This is not possible," shouted Commander. "Our shield were perfect." "They were until someone opened them," replied Elias. His face was pale. "It started." The Void Legion attacked with terrifying speed. They targeted communication hubs, fuel stations, command centers, not cities. Not yet. They wanted chaos first. Confusion, fear. On Zypher Prime, explosions shook the sky. Citizens ran. Buildings burned. Defense cannons fired wildly. In orbit, ships collided. Screams filled channels. "We're losing control. Sector 4 is gone. We need backup." Elias took command. "All fleets, follow Plan Omega. Human task forces, move now." Hidden human fleets emerged from nebulae, from asteroid belts, from deep space tunnels. They attacked from unexpected angles. Precision, coordination, courage. Alien commanders watched in awe. "They were ready," one whispered. "They predicted this." Meanwhile, Mira raced through Council headquarters. Her tablet flashed red. "All data points confirm," Atlas said in her ear. "Delegate Varix is the primary traitor." Myra's heart dropped. "Send proof to Elias," she said. "Now." She ran. Guards tried to stop her. "Emergency lockdown." "I'm authorized," she shouted. She burst into the main chamber. Varix stood near the control console. Calm, silent. She raised her weapon. "Step away," she commanded. The room froze. Varix turned slowly. "Mira," he said softly, "you should not be here." "It's over," she replied. "We know everything." Screens lit up. Proof. Messages. Payments. Coordinates. The council gasped. "Varix," someone whispered. He looked at them. Sad. Tired. "Yes," he admitted. "It was me." Outrage exploded. "Traitor. Murderer. Monster." Varix raised his hands. "I did this to save my people," he said. "We were dying." The Legion promised survival. Myra's voice shook. "They lied. They always lie." Varix's eyes filled with tears. "I know," he whispered, "but I was afraid." Suddenly, explosions rocked the building. Void Legion troops teleported in. Black armor. Red eyes. Weapons raised. "Extraction," one said. They grabbed Varix. Mira fired. One fell. Another exploded. Guards joined. Blaster fire filled the hall. Smoke. Fire. Screams. Elias's voice came through her communicator. Mira, hold them. I'm trying, she shouted. A blast through her back. She crashed into a wall. Bleeding. Dizzy. Varix looked at her. I'm sorry, he said. Then he pushed the commander away. He turned and ran back into the chamber. What are you doing? Mira cried. Varix slammed emergency override. All teleport signals were blocked, including his own. The Legion commander roared. You fool! Varix smiled sadly. For once, I choose right. He activated the core overload. No! Mira screamed. Too late. Light filled the room. Silence followed. Hours later, the battle ended. The Void Legion was pushed back, not defeated, but wounded, forced to retreat. Zypher Prime survived. Barely. Millions were dead, but billions lived because of one choice. Because of one traitor who became a hero. Elias stood before the council. Today we lost much, he said, but we did not fall. We learned. We adapted. We stood together. Mira watched the stars, thinking of Varix, of fear, of courage out of redemption. The galaxy had been shaken. Trust had been broken, then rebuilt with blood, with sacrifice, with truth. And far away, in dark space, the Void Legion prepared again. The final war was coming. The galaxy was silent, not peaceful, not calm, silent like a breath held before a storm. After the attack on Zypher Prime, every world knew the truth. The Void Legion was real. The war had begun, and no one was safe. Across hundreds of star systems, alarms were tested daily. Civilians were moved underground. Children were taught emergency drills. Factories stopped making luxury goods. They made weapons, shields, medical ships, escape pods. Hope was fragile. Fear was everywhere. But something new was also spreading. Determination. On Helios 9, the Joint Command Center never slept. Lights stayed on. Screens glowed. Officers worked in shifts. Some had not gone home in weeks. Commander Elias Carter stood at the main platform. His uniform was worn. His face was tired, but his eyes were sharp. Latest report, he said. An alien officer stepped forward. Void Legion fleets are gathering near the Dark Rift. Estimated strength, 5,000 capital ships. Gasps filled the room. That's more than double last time, someone whispered. Mirachin looked at the map. If they break through there, she said, they reach the core in 3 days. Elias nodded. Then we stopped them there. Silence. Sir, a young pilot said softly. We are outnumbered 5-1. Elias looked at him. So were we on Earth. Some smiled. Some swallowed hard. They knew the stories. Humans had always fought impossible odds. And somehow survived. The Dark Rift was a nightmare of space. Twisted gravity. Storm clouds of dark matter. Broken stars. Sensors failed. Navigation was unstable. Only the humans had mapped it fully. During their 1,000 years of hiding, this was their home field. This is where we make our stand. Elias said. The Allied fleet gathered. Human ships, crystal cruisers, energy vessels, organic carriers. Thousands of different designs. One united force. Before the battle, Elias sent one message. It was broadcast everywhere. To soldiers, to civilians, to distant colonies. To all who can hear me, he said. This is Commander Carter. Today we fight not for land, not for power, not for pride. We fight for tomorrow, for children who want to dream, for worlds that want peace, for a galaxy that deserves a future. We may fall, but we will not surrender. The message spread. People cried. People prayed. People stood taller. The Void Legion arrived like a dark wave. Black ships poured from folded space. Thousands, then thousands more. The sky seemed to break. Enemy commanders watched confidently. They cannot stop us, one said. They are weak. They are emotional. They will break. He was wrong. Battle stations. Elias shouted. All fleets. Whole formation Delta. Shields rose. Weapons charged. Drones deployed. Mines activated. Space itself seemed to hold its breath. Then, fire. Lasers cut through darkness. Missiles exploded like small suns. Energy beams shattered ships. The Battle of the Dark Rift had begun. Human pilots flew in tight groups, covering each other, protecting damaged allies. Alien captains followed human tactics. Hit, move, hide, strike again. Void Legion ships were powerful, but rigid, predictable. They did not adapt fast. Humans did. Mira coordinated defense from command. Left flank is collapsing. Send reserves. Medical ships to Sector Blue. Her voice never shook, even when her hands did. Elias flew his flagship directly into danger. Follow me, he ordered. They dived into an enemy formation. Point-blank fire. Explosions everywhere. Debris slammed into shields. Shields at 40%. Keep going. Hours passed. Then days. The battle never truly stopped. Waves of enemies came. Waves were pushed back. But losses were heavy. Too heavy. A young pilot screamed as his ship burned. Tell my mother I tried. Then silence. Mira closed her eyes. Then open them. Next sector, she said. No time to mourn. On the third day, disaster struck. A massive Void Legion dreadnought appeared. Bigger than any before. Surrounded by shields. Weapons charging. That thing can crack a planet, someone whispered. It fired. A beam of pure energy cut through 3 cruisers. Gone. Instantly. We can't stop that, cried an officer. Elias stared at the screen. Then he understood. There's one way, he said. Mira looked at him. No. He turned. Yes. It's the only way. The dreadnought's core was unstable. Human scanners had detected it, but it was deep inside. Protected. Only a close-range overload could destroy it. A suicide mission. I'll take the Dawn Spear, Elias said. That ship is fast enough. Mira grabbed his arm. You won't survive. He smiled softly. Humans never promised to. They looked at each other. Years of battles. Losses. Hope. Trust. I'm proud of you, she whispered. He nodded. Take care of them. The Dawn Spear broke formation. Raced forward. Enemy fire surrounded it. Explosions rocked it. Shields at 10%. 5, 2, core breach warning. Hold. Elias shouted. He flew straight into the dreadnought's shield. Pain. Heat. Alarms. Then inside. He armed the overload. This is Commander Carter. He broadcast. To all forces, it has been an honor for humanity, for the galaxy, for tomorrow. He smiled and pressed the trigger. Light filled space. The dreadnought exploded. A star was born. Enemy ships were torn apart. The shockwave spread. The Void Legion formation broke. They panicked. They retreated. They fled. Silence returned. This time, peaceful. The Allied fleet had won. At terrible cost. Mira watched the empty space. Where Elias had been. Tears floated from her eyes. Goodbye, she whispered. Months later, the council met again. But this time, humans sat at the center, not as outsiders, as leaders, as protectors. A statue of Elias stood in the main hall. Simple, strong. Under were the words, he chose tomorrow. A young alien asked his teacher, why did humans fight so hard? The teacher replied, because they remember extinction. And they never want anyone to feel that again. Far away, on a quiet world, children looked at the stars. They learned the story of survivors, of planners, of fighters, of dreamers, of humans. The last light of humanity had not faded. It had become a beacon for all